All right, guys, welcome to a late night video. We will be making more business videos, and I'm trying to like clean up and get the room how it used to be before I was going down this spiritual journey, which I still am, but it seems like I'm just coming back home. I'm hearing a lot of different stories and a lot of different things, and I got my call on Wednesday with the doctor, so hopefully that goes well. But what I want to talk about today is, and it's late at night, the difference between telling people what they need to hear versus telling them the truth. Okay, everybody can't handle the truth depending on where they're at in the journey. Okay, now if you're working with me, I'm going to tell you the truth, but I'm going to do it in a way where you will process the information healthily and readily, as well as that you can process, like you can just process the information. Okay, now what do I mean by that? I remember when I was working with my mentor, Doberman Dan. He was talking to me about like how sometimes he wouldn't tell people they can make hundreds and thousands of dollars, right? Because he would be like, yeah, like I was going to put it there, but I just do like 10 grand a month. He's like, why? He said, well, most of the guys, they don't believe in themselves. Since they don't believe in themselves, they kind of hear like 100,000 a month, and you can't really say that because they'll think that is fake, right? They won't think it's real. They'll think that there's some kind of limiting belief system that the person has where they'll be like, oh, this is not for me. This is impossible, right? I want to talk a little bit about that because while I do not do that often, that is what you have to do for people who really don't believe in themselves. Okay, most of the content that people actually post online, like people do the thing where they take their pictures and like look at me and like selling a house, especially with agents. That's something they do. They do stand next to the house, look at me, just offer accepted, or like whatever they do. Which I don't understand how that helps clients at all. It doesn't really help anybody, but it doesn't help anybody with the sales process either. But they think they're doing something, so it's very important to not discourage people, especially if they don't really know what they're doing, right? So a good example of this is in real estate. People don't really understand marketing, but they understand the business of and the mechanics of real estate. They understand how to borrow money. They understand how to get a loan. They understand how to do subject to financing, buy with no money, like that kind of thing. Like it gets like really easy after a while. I mean, it's just financing when you really understand it. What's going to happen? It's just creating debt. But the point is that they do not understand people. A lot of people don't understand people, so they don't really ever get to more than probably like 4 or 5 properties, right? I think you are in the 1% of real estate investors if you have over 20 units, or if you have 20 or 10 or something like this. If you have 10 houses, you are now in the 1% of real estate investors. Most people do not have real estate. They make it seem like they do, but they don't. Okay, only the people who are real estate entrepreneurs actually have real estate, right? These are guys who actively go out there, they go find properties and they close them like me, or they, I have more of a bank. I'm like doing more of the bank thing, so it's not really like a big deal, right? So the reason I'm saying this is because in that community, it's all about what you know and how good you are with what you know and how to find all these like gimmicks and ways to get the house, when really the only thing you really need to know is how to find the house. The house will tell the story of the deal, right? So it's better just to work with somebody and just sit with them and talk with them. But that's not what people do. People, I have this much in equity, or I have this much in this, and what happens is you start to lose track of like what the real thing is. The real thing is that you need to learn the skills to just be a better entrepreneur. That's like the real thing, right? You want to be a better business owner, you need to learn the skills, right? You need to know marketing, you need to know persuasion, you need to know positioning, strategy, mindset, like a bunch of different things, right? You're going to need to master your emotional state, among many other things. But ultimately, like if I told somebody that, they would just give up. Like somebody has to continue to watch the channel. They have to continue to watch my videos in order to even feel like they can do it. Like how many videos are you just, the economy is on tanking, or this is happening, or that's happening. It's really about your personal economy. It doesn't matter what's happening around you. What's happening. What matters is what's happening in your world, right? Are you like, for example, you could have use you're in 5 neighbors. All those neighbors that got fired from your job, you found people who can supply you the lifestyle that you're looking for by providing them goods or services. So now your life is fine. Doesn't matter what the economy is. You found people who have the resources that you want. You're trading now services for those said resources, and that's it. It's over, right? And This is the kind of thing you need to understand, because there's a difference between telling people what's real and telling people what they need to hear to get to the next step. You have to be careful with that. Most of the stuff I tell people, it's both. Okay, it's your job to set the tone on what the real thing is, so that way people can actually buy and buy intelligently. Most people don't want you to do that because it's resistance to buying. Okay, if you told somebody, hey, it's going to take you grueling hours of studying and learning and all this other stuff, like, like now when I look at it, I'm like, okay, how hard was it really? How hard was this? This really wasn't hard. The hard part was trying to siphon what's real and what's not real, right? Like, what is real, what's not real, what is, or organizing, like, okay, is this real? Is that, like, because nobody explains that, right? Like, I'm still learning too. I'm still learning, and I'm not just spiritual stuff and business stuff too. It's not like I'm not going to pick up anything like new every day or whatever. It's going to be like rare, but I think this year so far, I picked up on how to signal test, right? So what is that? That's when you run ads, and now you're proving whether your theories are true or not, so that way you can scale further, right? So this is easy way to scale past millions of dollars, because you know that your campaign's working properly, this, that, and the other. For me, I only need 20 clients. I need 20 deals a year. That's like nothing. It's literally like farting. I know it's like a little vulgar, but it's literally just like going up, take a piss. Like, that's really what that is. So anyway, I'm saying this because you have to be careful on people actively telling you something that is not. Why? Because they want you to take the step. Okay, I remember being on another call, and it was like that. He's like, yeah, I just tell people how to make their first $10,000, when really he's like, yeah, I could easily make like 50 grand a month, but I just don't want to do this. You get what I'm saying here? 50, 100 grand a month. And it's like, well, why not? Like, what's going on? You just don't want to do it. After you know what you can do, it don't really matter. I just got finished talking to a friend today. He's doing good. He had a rough time last year, maybe the year before that, and we were supposed to work to this project. He got tied up, and life happened to him, and now he's doing great. He got thousands of dollars he's putting away every month. I mean, he's like, yeah, like, this shit doesn't even really matter. I'm like, doesn't matter if you're at 6 figures or 75,000 or 60,000. It's the same process. You either want to make more or you don't. If you want to make more, you start doing these behaviors. If you don't want to make more, then you start figuring out what you want to do, right? And this is exactly why it's important to figure out who you are, so you can have your identity, right? You can be in alignment, and while you're in alignment, then you're doing great, right? So also another thing that I was talking about was identity shifting. Identity shifting, right? So, like, for example, I'm past that now. I don't need the identity shift. I'm just the whole thing. I'm God in that manner, not in a weird way, but like, I know I'm connected to God. I know I am, right? So what does that mean? I'm already everything. I don't need to shift. You know what I'm saying here? I don't need to be something. I already am. I am. You get that? I am. I don't need to change. But that's the trick. The trick is to try to get you to change. It's one thing to make a shift in perspective. It's another thing to just say, this is who I am, and this is just what I'm doing at the moment. You see, I'm here. Like, you have to, like, kind of know the difference between these little words, because if you say it the wrong way, then you are doing something different. And this is why I had such a hard time, because I was going through these identity shifts, thinking that it is good, which it is good. It is when you're new and you don't know what's happening. But eventually I came into my full, and I'm like, wait a minute. I'm everything, right? I'm already everything, and not in a weird way, but just I'm connected to God, right? I mean, that's it. That's it. When I'm here, I'm connected to God. I don't need to be something else. If I feel that something is off, I may be out of alignment, but I'm still the same. I'm still here, right? So the question is, do you need to identity shift? Actually, you don't. You don't. You don't need to shift anything. You just need the right information, so that way you can know how to do the role that you'll be playing over the next couple of years, right? In order for you to get the things you're looking for, you don't have to change into that person. I thought you did. See, that's the trick. The trick is to change into something you're not. Right? But that's why it gets confusing, because, this is what a real estate investor does. A real estate investor does this. A real estate investor does that. A real estate investor does this. But when you become locked in that identity, then you're not going to be able to think of all the other things that are happening. So that's why I went from like real estate investor to like marketer to entrepreneur to now I just am. I am, right? And I am the role that fits the person when they need it, right? So sometimes people may need a consultant. I can do that, right? But when I'm talking to them one on one, I'm going to say, what is it exactly that you're looking for, and what made you reach out to me, right? What brought you to the call today? Oh well, I know that you know what's going on with X, Y, and Z, whatever it is, right? Like you know what's going on with this business stuff. Yeah, I've been doing business for a while. Yep. Tell me more. Oh well, I was wondering if you do consulting. It just so happens I do. Really? Yes. I am the thing I need to be in that moment. I am who I need to be in the moment, right? And if I want to continue to have results in my life, which is just run my business, which is pretty simple. You have a great marketing campaign, you have leads that come in the door, you answer the questions, then you do the work for them, and that's it. There ain't nothing else to this, right? And what I'm trying to say here is that if you're still doing the identity shifting, which is fine, it's going to be difficult to then be yourself later, because you're still going to have to go through these emotional changes to now go be yourself, because it's just fine being you. But really, this whole process is about discovering you. And me doing those identity shifts are me integrating roles, which I didn't understand at the time, into the full identity of Carlos, which is this that I'm not really like in a box. I'm just whatever I want to be. Do whatever I want. I could, fly. I can fly. I can jump. I can swim. I can do whatever, right? And the question is that what is going to feed my spirit? What's going to bring me to alignment? That's what I am, right? But some things that are consistent are I am a go-getter. I love to challenge myself. I love to read. I love hearing about new things. I love spending time with my family. Those things are going to always be static. But will I always be doing entrepreneurship activities? Maybe. Most likely, yes. Right? Will I always be doing persuasion strategies? Yes. Will I always be doing family things with my time? Yes. Will I always be eating steak? Maybe not. Maybe I'm like, okay, I don't eat steak anymore. It doesn't really serve me right now. Right? And the point I'm trying to say here is that there's a difference between what people say and what like the real thing is. Because if I tell somebody you are perfect as you are, everything's fine, they can be like, no, I'm not. So you can't really say that at that moment. You get what I'm saying? You can try to talk them out of it, but it doesn't matter because they're already stuck there. So you have to kind of understand where people are and bring them down the assembly line in order to believe in themselves, right? And as soon as they start, it's like riding a bike. When you're a baby, you don't really know how to ride a bike. You don't know what's happening. So what do? You have to put on the training wheels. As you get on the training wheels, okay, you're doing it. You're doing it. Are you really doing it? No, you ain't doing shit, right? That's all you're doing. But you need to hear, you're doing it. You're doing it. Hey, you're going the path, which you are technically doing it. But you know what I'm saying? Like, so you're moving, you're doing it. Oh, really? And then you take the training wheels off. You're doing it. And next thing you know, you're watching. Oh, I'm doing it. Oh shit. Oh, what the? Right, which is okay, right? There's nothing wrong with, bruising a little bit or whatever. But the point is that that's why you want to have somebody there telling you what you need to hear in the right moments. You know what I'm saying here? Because like, if somebody doesn't have money, how am I going to be like, oh yeah, you can make $20,000 in like 2 hours? Really? They're like, hey, I'm like, I have nothing here. I don't really understand what the heck you're talking about. Right? They're in a whole. I have to transform this person into another individual, which is very time costing. But this is the development of the human spirit. That's really what I do for the most part, right? And I know that doesn't sound right when you're doing business, but that's really all business really is at the end of the day. You're developing people's spirit. So it's a spiritual journey that you're going to go down when doing this entrepreneur stuff, because you have to then look at the world differently, and you have to understand that people don't look at the same world you do, right? At this point, I'm like, okay, the earth is a plane. It's just flat. It's not flat, not completely flat, but it's a plane. Okay, so if the earth is not round, then what does that mean? That means that anybody who says it's round, I need to jump into their world and say, yeah, oh yeah, the world is round, and it state some obvious facts, right? Some obvious facts that aren't facts, right? It's not real. So it's like, okay, this isn't real. Anybody who does say it's real, then they're probably like paid by the government or somebody. But the whole point is that people still believe it. So it doesn't really matter if what they believe is a lie or not. What matters is it's like, okay, so you want to ride this bike? Like, yeah. Well, is the earth round? Of course it is. Then you can ride a bike too. That's, you know what I'm saying here? So it's like, but really, hey, actually the earth is like flat. It's like, what? Okay, this guy's crazy. I don't know if it was, it's like, oh. So anyway, the point of the video is this. The point of the video is you have to know the difference between But what people are telling you, the reason why they're telling you, and then the real thing, and you still got to put it together and understand why they're doing it, because basically it can take you off it could take you off the path, right? As soon as you're off that path, to the journey itself is over. It's over, okay? Because God is as I talk about it, God's design, it's all the same stuff. It's just you trying to do something you're not really meant to do. You got to do the things that's right for you, that's right for your spirit, right? You just got to do the things that's right for you, man. So, that's it. I mean, that's today's video. I hope everybody has a great night, and just pay attention to this stuff. Is very deceptive if you're not careful, because people will be like, oh, people don't normally buy when I tell them they can make, like, if I tell somebody, hey, if you work with me for like 4 months, you'll know everything you need to know about real estate. People don't believe that. So I have to say, hey, I'll work with you for the year sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I tell people on the call, like, hey, it's probably going to take like 3 months. After 3 months, then, you'll pretty much be okay. They probably don't believe it, but they end up, oh, wow, this is like, I am doing it. Like, of course you are. Like, I know what I'm doing. I'm going to teach you actually really good. And yeah, you just have to know the difference, man. This is all about setting the frame, understanding, or setting the tone, same thing, or setting the vibes, or setting the context of what's going to be happening, because most people, they don't live in reality. They live somewhere else. It's important to meet them where they're at and let them know that, hey, like, if they're at their job, man, they make it so hard to have a business. They make it so difficult. They do. You're right. It shouldn't be this hard. You're absolutely right. And it's like, well, why is it like this? Well, some people will say that it's sabotage. Some people will say that it's this. What do you think it is? Well, I think it's this. Maybe it is. So you ready to get started to go on this journey so you can get out of that situation? Yeah. Let them believe what they need to believe to get them to the next step, because they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Okay. They don't know. People don't know what they're talking about. So it's okay for them. Like, the right answer is to go to the authority, which is the healthy person, like not the fake authority, but the real authority, and say, hey, what do you think about this? And you listen to them, and then you decide whether or not if it's for your life. If it doesn't, then you say, okay, that doesn't fit. So let me go on to the next thing, and yada, yada, yada. But the point is that most people, what they're doing, they just really want to live in their own world. They want to hear what they want to hear. Man, if I can just make an extra $400 a month, man, I'd be good. I can help you do that. Yeah, really? Yeah, I can help you make $400 a month for $6,000. Give me $6,000, and I'll show you how to make $400 a month. Meanwhile, I'm showing them the same process that they can make $10,000 a month, but they ask for 400, and they're going to get 400. Either way, I'm going to get what I want, which is the money, which is the pay. Get paid. Get it? And then I'm like, okay, well. And then when it's time after I made my first 400. Great. Would you like to make more now? Yeah, I think I do. I think I want like 5,000 now. Okay, we'll do that. Okay, that'll be extra money now. You get it? So the whole point is to really be giving people what they're asking for. You can't really be giving people what they're not asking for. The moment you try to do what you think is right, it doesn't really matter. Like, what matters is what the person desires. What do they want? What do they want? Do you want the truth? Do you don't want the truth? Like, what do you want? You got to want this. You have to want things. If you don't want it, then you're not going to get it. You're going to be doing fake success. Doing this. Okay. All right, guys. Have a great night. All right.